Gaspar de Portola and Juan Crespi reached the present site of Los Angeles on August 2nd, 1769, establishing El Pueblo de Nuestra Señora la Reina de Los Ángeles, the town of Our Lady, the Queen of the Angels. After a brutal 10-year Revolutionary War, Mexico finally drove Spain out in 1821 and attempted to establish itself as a free nation. The United States, obsessed with manifest destiny, took advantage of its crippled neighbor by declaring war in 1846, known as the Mexican-American War. The Americans made a backdoor deal with puppet President Santa Anna for favorable conditions to surrender. America also invaded and held the country's capital, Mexico City, under occupation, unless the lands of Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, and California were sold below asking value. The Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, signed on February 2, 1848, marked the end of the Mexican-American War and ensured a peaceful land sale, with all inhabitants living on it honored as citizens, retaining their properties, including cattle, land, and homes, now being part of the United States. The majority of the inhabitants were indigenous Native Americans, as well as a hybrid race of Europeans, blacks, and Asians, mixed with the mostly genocided Central Indigenous peoples, today commonly known as Mexicans. Congress passed the California Land Act in 1851, double-crossing many of these new citizens for their land and property. Unable to speak English and unfamiliar with Anglo law, many rancho owners lost a vast majority of extremely valuable land. Such as Maria Rita Valdez, a black, Mexican-American woman of enslaved person descent. Her grandfather was one of 11 families recruited by the government of Spain to found the city of Los Angeles. She was a successful cattle ranch owner with other Mexican and indigenous ranchers. Maria sold her ranch under pressure to the former mayor of Los Angeles, Benjamin Davis Wilson, in 1854. Today, the Beverly Hills Hotel sits on the site that was once Maria's home. Only 5.7% of Beverly Hills inhabitants today are Latinx, according to the most recent census. The arrival of the Southern Pacific and Santa Fe Railroad brought droves of Anglo investors to the newly available land boom of the 1880s in California. Los Angeles experienced its largest population boom from 1910 to 1920, with the majority of its landowners being Anglo, while most of the residents were Mexican Americans previously granted citizenship. The most famous director of the time, D.W. Griffith, took the journey west and also fell in love with the scenic beauty and potential of Hollywood. But D.W. will also identify the one problem with this Garden of Cinema Eden and address it in the first film shot in Hollywood, in Old California, 1909, the first time the catchphrase, lights, camera, action was ever used on a movie set. Thought to be a lost film, a copy was once screened by the Beverly Hills Film Festival, but no copies are currently publicly available. The film is the story of two men courting for the affections of Perdita Lernello, a Spanish señorita. One man is a wealthy young Spaniard destined to become the governor. The other, a common Mexican troubadour, prone to drinking, gambling, and women. She regretfully chooses the common Mexican and ends up with a troubled young son just like his father. Establishing a clear distinction between educated, wealthy, and civilized Spaniards of Europe and the common Mexican with indigenous ancestry. A trend in cinema that can still be seen today. Positive Latinx parts are played by Europeans, while negative Latinx parts are played by darker-skinned, tattooed, and menacing-looking Latinx performers. D.W. Griffith will repeat the same European versus indigenous storyline in his films Ramona and Greaser's Gauntlet. igniting the trend of a Mexican criminal stereotype that will come to be known as the greaser villain. Greaser was a racist slur for jobs most Mexicans had, such as greasing wagon wheels and cowhides. The greaser, similar to the narco today, was portrayed as inferior in intelligence and integrity, overtly childlike, lazy, a grubby gunslinger, conniving, violent, as well as having a discerning taste and power over white women, thus unworthy of the rights of American citizenship, with titles such as The Greaser's Revenge, Tony and the Greaser, Bronco Billy and the Greaser and the Weakling, The Girl and the Greaser, and Licking the Greasers. These films were primarily used to rally nationalist sentiment and encourage lynching, deportation, or incarceration. Cinema will be weaponized for a white supremacist agenda. The greaser stereotype will plague the Latinx community for the next 120 years of cinema, culminating in the common narco stereotype today.
How can I go back where I come from? The shack that I was born in is buried under company property.